Hey guys, second modding tutorial. This one also uses parts of the Maverick. You can kind of see that's a reoccurring theme. I really love all of the insides of the Maverick. There's a lot of really cool little creative bits inside this one. Just gonna start off showing you what gets done. A little sight here, and a flash hider. All built with parts from the Maverick. Okay, starting off, first things first, tools you're gonna need. Screwdriver. Always important. Can be used for everything. Pliers. This is more of an optional thing, and I'll explain that later. Tape measure. Also optional. You don't really need this. I'll explain it later. Lastly, Dremel, or rotary tool, or if you want to have, I don't know, if you want it to be, if time is not an issue for you, then you don't need a rotary tool. Then you'll need like a file, or file and like sandpaper, sanding things. Yeah, it's definitely what it is. Yeah, just starting out, materials you'll need. Another Maverick. I have two Mavericks, so all the parts for any of these that come from a Maverick are going to come from one Maverick. So, yeah, just that's it. Starting off, first things first, this. Let me just unscrew it so I can show it off. There we go. So here's what you'll need to do for this one. I'm just going to start off with this, because it's the one that I think takes the least amount of time. So first things first, what do you need to do to your blaster for this to actually work? Well, you're going to need to drill two little holes. Now what I did was, I didn't have a drill handy, so I just took a screwdriver and kind of twisted it a few times until it was a size a little bit smaller than the head of, oh god, that's so unfocused, than the screw. Then what I did was I just put in the screw, and it created the size of the hole that's perfect for it. And the way I did the measurements for that was I took this piece, which is going to be your sight, and can be found in the blaster right here. On those two holes, there will be two screws that you'll use for this, and it's going to be holding in the rotating mechanism. Just put that back down. What you do is you look for a ridge here, a ridge that works, and you just put it down, and I took a pen, and I just put two dots, and took it away, screwdriver trick, came back, put in the screws, and it worked. So just give me a second, and I will put that back on. Okay, one thing you'll see I did there was I put in the front screw first, and then I slid in this so it fit, and then what I did was I tightened down the first screw just a little bit so it held it down, so I didn't have to hold it while screwing in the back screw. That's just pro tip right there. Yeah. Next thing, oh god, it's a nice tight fit there. Flash hider. So flash hider, this is made by the reverse plunger, and what you'll do is you will, in the blaster there will be a piece right here fitting along the tracks. These tracks here. And what you do is you'll take that out, take out this front piece, put that aside, and you'll have this. I mean, it'll obviously have a back here, because how else are you going to hold the air? What you're going to do with that is you're going to cut that off wherever you want it to be, and you will sand it off, and this is the special thing you do for sanding. But if you don't have a good cutting tool, like a saw or a cutting bit for the rotary tool, what you can do, what I did, is I did the screwdriver trick, drilling a little hole, and then you can put these little needle nose pliers in and pry away at the plastic, and it should break. Like when you're prying it up, it should break right at the edge of the plunger tube. It'll still require a little bit more sanding. As you can see, mine's a little uneven here. You can see that, but yeah, you can still. That's another option you can do. And for sanding, what I did was I sanded around the edge first, and then I went at an angle and sanded like this, so that the darts don't catch against the against your new tube. Oh God, I can't speak today. Yeah. Then what you do is it'll still have these ridges on it from the track. What you do is there's perfectly lined up. There'll be these little notches. What you do is you take your plunger tube. Oh yes, another thing I forgot to mention. There is a little bump here that I had to make that way. Normally what it is it's kind of this square hook-like thing, and what that does is that catches onto the pull-back thing, the thing that you use to pull back the plunger tube. What you'll need to do is you'll need to use something like pliers, or just sand it off, or cut it off, or something like that, and wrestle that off, plier it off, and you'll need to sand that down to make it smooth, and so that it actually fits right in here, but you'll want to keep it a little bump, so it's a nice tight fit in here. What I did when I put it in is I always put it in on the bottom side, because if you look inside there, the bottom part of the barrel is flat, and it holds on to this a lot better than if you put it in front. What you want to do is you want to push that out, and it's a lot easier if you do the barrel drop mod, because then you can actually reach behind here, or you can just come from this side. You want to push that so it's nice and flush. You don't want it any more than flush. A little less is still fine, but it's better if it's nice and flush. You can kind of see them there. There's a little bit of a gap, but not too much. That's where these things come into play. After you've done that, you're all done. Yeah. So these are just kind of some small cosmetic mods. Not really altering the inside of the blaster. I mean, obviously the blaster is altered inside, but I'm not really going to cover that, because I think there are enough tutorials out there as is, and I'm not going to add another one, because that just seems pointless. People have already done it before, so I don't like doing things people have already done. Oh yes, I keep forgetting things. What tape measure is for. Let's say you don't want this as far out as it is now. Let's say you want it in that far. Well, what you can do is just measure it. the inside length of this short barrel thing is 1 1/4 inches, so measurements, just add 1 1/4 inches to however long you want it out, and that'll work. What you can use this for is you can use this, like, let's say you paint your gun, you got it all nice and black and silvery, shiny, Terminator looking, and you actually want to use it outside. Well, some places actually, they have regulations. You can't, if there's no orange, or no extraordinarily visible orange, you can't use it as a toy gun. It gets not turned, but like, it gets qualified as a prop gun. So in the eyes of the law, that's a prop gun. You need special permissions to use it places. What you can do is you can do all your paint jobs. You can make it look super nice and crazy, but you keep that there so it's nice, it's prominent, it's visible, and everyone's happy. And then what you can do is, let's say you want to show this off to somebody, and you don't want that ugly orange tip thing here. Comes right out, and you got your nice custom blaster there. Yeah, that's more or less it. Have fun. Happy modding. Note, I am not responsible for anything that happens. If you screw this up, don't come to me and say, oh, I screwed it up, I followed your directions perfectly. I'm just saying what I did. It might not work for you. Yeah, that's about it. Bye-bye.